Betrayal has a face, and in this case, it's the face of a childhood friend. Let's delve into a story that has shocked many, a tale of friendship turned sour, a narrative of unimaginable treachery. Meet Liam McAtasney and Sara Stern, two childhood friends from the small town of Neptune City, New Jersey. As kids, they played in the same parks, attended the same school, and shared many of the same dreams. Their bond was strong, their friendship seemed unbreakable, but a shocking turn of events would forever shatter this image of innocence. The year was 2016. December had just rolled in, bringing with it cold winds and the promise of a festive season. But for Sara Stern, it would be her last. In a gruesome twist of fate, her childhood friend Liam McAtasney would become her murderer. The motive? A sum of money? A stash that belonged to Sara's deceased mother? It was not a fortune, but to McAtasney it was enough. Enough to betray a lifelong friendship, enough to plan a cold-blooded murder, enough to forever tarnish the memory of a vibrant young woman who had her whole life ahead of her. The crime was as heinous as it was shocking. McAtasney didn't just kill Sara. He meticulously planned her murder, timed it, and then callously disposed of her body like it was nothing more than an inconvenience. His actions were not just a betrayal to Sara, but a betrayal to the values of friendship, trust, and humanity. But as the saying goes, every secret has a way of coming out. And so, Liam McAtasney's unthinkable act would set the stage for a chilling tale of deceit, money, and murder. In the cold December of 2016, Sara Stern's life was brutally cut short. This is the tragic tale of a friendship that took a deadly turn. Sara Stern, a young and talented artist, was murdered by none other than her childhood friend, Liam McAtasney. The chilling crime unfolded in New Jersey, where McAtasney, fueled by greed, plotted the unthinkable. Sara had recently come into a large sum of money, an inheritance from her late mother. McAtasney, aware of this fortune, schemed to rob Sara of her newfound wealth. However, his plan didn't stop at robbery. He decided to eliminate the sole witness to his crime, Sara herself. The act was as cold-blooded as it was brutal. McAtasney strangled Sara, taking her life, and then, in a disturbing display of callousness, timed the murder with a stopwatch. But the horror didn't end there. McAtasney, with the help of his accomplice, Preston Taylor, disposed of Sara's body by throwing it off a bridge. Soon after, the police began investigating Sara's disappearance. Her absence was noted, and suspicion began to mount. The authorities were quick to notice the inconsistencies in McAtasney's story. His actions were out of sync with those of a concerned friend. Instead, they bore the hallmarks of someone with a guilty conscience. As the investigation deepened, the police noticed the trail of evidence pointing towards McAtasney. His behavior, his proximity to Sara, and the suspicious timing of her disappearance all pointed to his involvement. It was becoming increasingly clear that Sara's childhood friend was not the innocent bystander he claimed to be. But the police needed more than circumstantial evidence to make their case. They needed something concrete, something irrefutable. Little did they know, the most damning piece of evidence was just around the corner, waiting to break the case wide open. The initial pieces of the puzzle were falling into place, but the most damning evidence was yet to come. A hidden camera, an unwitting confession, and a story that sends chills down the spine. Enter Anthony Curry, an old classmate of Sara and McAtasney. An unsuspecting character, yet one who would play a pivotal role in this chilling tale. Curry, unbeknownst to McAtasney, was the key to unlocking the truth behind Sara Stern's disappearance. He was the one who managed to capture McAtasney's confession on a hidden camera. Now, this wasn't your ordinary confession. It was a chilling admission of guilt, a cold recounting of a heinous crime. McAtasney confessed to strangling Sara Stern, his childhood friend, over a sum of $10,000. A life taken, a friendship betrayed, all for money that once belonged to Sara's deceased mother. But it wasn't just the act itself that sent shivers down the spines of those who heard the confession. It was the level of detail, the casual indifference with which McAtasney described his actions. He talked about timing the killing with a stopwatch, about calmly disposing of Sara's body by throwing it off a bridge. A calculated, cold-blooded act of betrayal. This confession, captured on a hidden camera, became the linchpin of the case against McAtasney. It stripped away any facade of innocence he might have clung to. It laid bare the cold, hard truth of his guilt. The impact of this confession was significant. It not only implicated McAtasney in the murder but also his accomplice, Preston Taylor, who would later plead guilty to related charges. The confession echoed in the courtroom, a stark reminder of the inhumanity of the crime. It resonated with the jury, the judge, and the public, leading to a unanimous verdict. The confession, cold and remorseless, sealed McAtasney's fate. In the courtroom, the weight of evidence and the power of justice came into play. The trial was a tense spectacle where every word and every piece of evidence held a significant weight. Liam McAtasney, the defendant, faced a cascade of serious charges, including first-degree murder and conspiracy, among others. The charges were severe and the stakes were high, the result of a crime that had shocked the community and left a family devastated. McAtasney's defense was put under the microscope, scrutinized to the smallest detail. Yet the chilling confession caught on a hidden camera recording was a piece of evidence that was insurmountable. It was a confession that reverberated through the courtroom, a shocking admittance of guilt that was hard for many to comprehend. In the midst of this trial, the emotional toll on Sara Stern's family was palpable. They had lost their beloved daughter, a talented young artist, in such a cruel and unthinkable way. Each day of the trial was a reminder of the tragedy they had endured, the pain they had suffered, and the justice they sought. McAtasney, on the other hand, showed tears in court, a display of emotion that was quickly called into question by the prosecutors. They deemed his tears insincere, a mere performance in the face of damning evidence and the looming threat of a life sentence. His actions, his words, and even his tears were all subject to doubt, casting a shadow on his credibility and further intensifying the drama within the courtroom. The trial was a monumental event, a testament to the power of justice and the pursuit of truth. It was filled with tension, sorrow, and an undercurrent of hope that justice would be served for Sara Stern. And then, in a courtroom filled with anticipation and heavy hearts, the verdict was delivered. A life sentence without parole, the price of a life taken too soon. This was the sentence handed down to Liam McAtasney for the murder of his childhood friend, Sara Stern. Found guilty on all 7 counts against him, including first-degree murder and conspiracy, McAtasney was also given an additional 10 years for desecration of human remains. His accomplice, Preston Taylor, also faced the judgment of the court, pleading guilty to related charges and receiving his own separate sentencing. The verdict sent shockwaves through the community, but perhaps none felt the impact as deeply as Sara's family. Her father, expressing the devastation caused by her murder, watched as the court proceedings unfolded. Tears were shed in that courtroom, but not all were deemed genuine. McAtasney's show of remorse was questioned by prosecutors, his tears seen as a last-ditch attempt to sway the court's opinion. The case was a grim reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the most unexpected places, even within the bonds of childhood friendship. It cast a long shadow over the locality, stirring a mixture of relief, anger, and profound sadness among the public. Media coverage was extensive, and the chilling videotaped confession played a significant role in the trial, capturing the attention of true crime enthusiasts across the nation. Yet amid the horror and the heartbreak, there was a determination to remember Sara Stern, not for the tragic circumstances of her death, but for the life she lived. A talented young artist, her memory continues to inspire and resonate within the community. The aftermath of the trial marked the beginning of a long healing process as friends, family, and the community grappled with the reality of the loss and the shocking betrayal. The verdict, while a step towards justice, served as a stark reminder of the life cut short and the promise unfulfilled. In the face of such a horrifying crime, one can only hope for healing justice and a memory that never fades. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel.